men between 40 and 60 were drinking after tennis games truncated by rain. I watched the quarrel develop as a polite, observant outsider. A young scion announced that he was bored with life, to which a wise old tycoon responded, "That's because you retired before you did anything. When's the last time you got out of town?" The younger man said that in the past year he had been in Beverly Hills, Palm Springs, Aspen, Deauville, plus a month at the Carlisle in New York City. "Those are all the same places," quipped the older man. "Maybe so, but then the television doesn't present the outside world as an attractive place." The old man stood up and nodded his assent, and everyone seemed relieved. Anger, after all, represents bad manners. Then he said, "Television never gets off the interstate unless there's an explosion. The world wasn't designed to be an attractive place. You should meet the man that used to be my son-in-law. Compared to him, you're all asshole fops. That includes you." He was pointing his finger at me, and my temples ached with panic. I'm so weak-stomached about criticism that I only read reviews after someone has assured me that they're laudatory. "I read your books. They're nice enough. But you might try writing about someone who actually does something." Then he left, whistling a show tune, and somebody asked me what the word fop meant. Naturally, an hour didn't pass before I began checking up on this ex-son-in-law to whom I compared so unfavorably. There was a casual stupidity to this little argument, especially in that the reading public likes to feel superior to rich people and their ostensibly artificial problems. That doesn't concern me here. That afternoon was the rather nagging and painful beginning for me of a long voyage back toward Earth, however simple-minded might be my arrival. Rather than jump at the challenge immediately, I wrote a few letters to this son-in-law, Robert Strang, none of which brought a response. I checked the map and discovered the nearest airport to his place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan was some 100 miles away in Sault Ste. Marie. I put the idea on hold and went off to Key West for my annual tarpon fishing trip, which was severely marred by gluttony, alcohol, painkillers for the gout, and other such things that keep me awake for long, sleepless, tropical nights, and have done so for over a decade. Only it didn't work anymore, and I sat in a dark room for 3 days with palm fronds rattling against the eaves. Then a postcard of a snowbank from Strang was forwarded from Palm Beach. In response to my rambling notes, he only said, "I don't get what you're talking about. Robert C. Strang." I was so desperate at the moment that his terse sentence was all I needed to get started. In bringing to a close this small introduction, I should thank numerous doctors, civil engineers, and certain companies involved in international construction projects, but they weren't finally germane in understanding our man. I am, however, thankful to Dr. Bryce Douglas for pointing me to a Harvard University Botanical Museum leaflet by Richard Evans Schultes with the imposing title De Plantis Toxicarus e Mundo Novo Tropicale Commentationes 1. This leaflet identifies the plant Aristolochia medicinalis, which is a native Venezuelan remedy for epilepsy and other seizures, and which helped give me insight into the core of Strang's unique personality. Whether he is still alive or not is obviously beyond our control, but not beyond our interest. I must somehow content myself with having known a man totally free of the bondage of the appropriate. Chapter 1. So I moved slowly north, passing through dozens of springs, virtually traveling north with greening spring herself overhead and below, pausing here and there to wait for her and for my own courage to gather. You see, I was on the verge of doing something truly different in my life, something totally unexampled. Usually I drove north along the eastern seaboard to New York City, and later in June to our cottage near Sag Harbor. My wife would fly ahead, lacking my affection.